Hey everybody, it's Master Heidi Chapman again, PEX Karate Academy, with your Wisdom Wednesday. So today we're talking about things that you might be able to do to kind of help your kid kind of raise their grades if they're struggling with a little bit of some schoolwork, homework. We're right through our first 9 weeks. Report cards are going to be coming out soon, so there's not too much we can do about that, but there are some steps that you can take to kind of help from this point forward if they're struggling a little bit with grades. All right, so now parents around the world can attest to the difficulty of raising kids, especially the challenge that comes with unsatisfactory grades on a child's report card. So if you find yourself wishing that there was a way to kind of help your child get better grades, or you're concerned that they're not performing to their ability, we've got a few helpful tips that, just might help save the day, so to speak. Now, you can't spend every day at school analyzing what's preventing them from doing better on tests and exams. However, you can make some adjustments at home to better prepare them to succeed in school. So these suggestions might be exactly what you need to ensure that those grades do kind of go the right direction and start going up instead of going down. All right, number one, cut down, don't eliminate playtime. So poor grades on your child's report card could be an indication not enough time is putting into sitting down and learning the material that they need to take that test on, or that pop quiz on, or get the homework done. They may have too much time recreationally. However, the answer is not to eliminate the playtime altogether. There's always that important balance you guys have to have. I mean, as a parent, you know this. You don't want to work all day long, every day, Monday through Friday, and then have to turn right around and work all weekend as well. You've got to have some balance. You need some downtime. So, but when it comes to grades, you may have to increase a little extra time spent on homework if your child has a tendency to neglect it. But maybe what you really need is a more effective use of the time that you have. If they are spending time studying, but they're still not getting everything done, then maybe you guys need to sit down and do like a time analysis and figure out what's better spent or how it's better spent to do that. So reduce distractions and so on like that. So one of the things I tell the kids is, all right, guys, how many of you guys like, 1 hour of homework at the end of the day? And of course, none of them raise their hand, but I'm like, okay, who would rather 1 hour versus 3 hours of homework? And of course, then they all say, I would rather have 1 hour of homework. I'm like, all right, guys, so how many of y'all watch your tablet, or you have your phone nearby when you do your homework, or you're watching TV? And surprisingly enough, about 60-70% of them raise their hand and go, I do. And I'm like, you guys realize that having those distractions nearby triples the time that it takes you to get your homework done. If you guys need a background noise, just put your phone on music, or, turn on the radio or something, get some background noise. But anything that requires you to pick it up and look at it is a distraction from what you're trying to do. All right, number two, encourage reading. Reading is one of those core subjects that aids in a child's development and progress, but not a lot of kids like to read books required by school because they just don't find them interesting. When I talk to parents on their initial evaluation with me and they tell me they're not doing so well in school, and I'll ask them, okay, is it reading? A lot of parents will go, yeah. And I'm like, is it comprehension? And almost all of them are like, yeah, how did you know that? And I'm like, because that's one of the biggest issues that I find with our students when they come in with the lower grades in reading. It's a comprehension thing. So they can read beautifully, but they couldn't tell you a single thing of what they did. So the best way to work around that one is to find some books that on subjects that the kids are interested in, and then take it paragraph by paragraph with them, and ask them questions. Make it like a game show. Little Johnny went to the park with, and why did they go to the park? Because they were trying to, and just kind of make it kind of fun. Get some books when you're starting off that has more pictures than normal. That kind of breaks up the monotony of reading and gives their brain a little bit of a break to really kind of focus on what paragraph they're working on. Outside of the books that they get from school, choose books with subject matter that will appeal to your child's interests. I know with technology nowadays, a lot of folks don't go to the library. In fact, some folks might say, we have a library? You do, actually, probably closer than you think to where you're at. I encourage you to spend some time, if you have an extra hour on the weekend or something, and take your child to the library. The more that they're surrounded by books and they see that there's a love of reading, the more they're apt to kind of get into books and start building that comprehension that they need to work on in school. All right, number 3. Provide games that strengthen their weaknesses. So if math and problem solving are the weak areas for your child, buy games that require more logic and more reasoning than normal. Games that require, counting like Candyland is a good one. Games that require thought and logic, like Guess Who. Guess Who was one of our favorites in our house because it required him to deduce, well, this one doesn't have glasses, this one's got red hair, who could this possibly be? So just stuff like that. All right, number 4, keep meals consistent. Often if there's too much time between meals, it becomes easy for your brain to kind of shut down and lose focus. Think about how you are at work just before lunchtime. You're hungry, you're ready for lunch, you're ready for a break, you don't want to think about what you're doing, you just want to go get something to eat. Provide them with a little snack to kind of get them through homework time, and they'll have a tendency to focus a little bit better. All right, number 5. Consider a tutor. Some children learn better one-on-one, and no offense, me included, they listen better to teachers and tutors than they do their own parents. Mine was no exception. I would tell him one thing and it'd go in one ear and out the other. One of my other instructors would tell him the exact same thing, same wording and everything else, and it was like a sign from the heavens. So consider having someone that would be able to tutor your child. It could be they're not doing well in class because there's not enough attention being paid to maybe some of the issues that they specifically might be having in class. So extra classes or extra help outside of school might be what they need to give them the attention to focus on those little things that they really need to work on. All right, there we go. These tips should help steer your child towards some better grades. I hope you got some helpful hints. If you did, make sure that you guys share. Develop the skills, hopefully necessary they need to excel in school. So now every child is different, and even with the same child, their need changes over time. So what they had a strength in this year kind of goes downhill next year, but hopefully they'll build on the ones that they had a weakness on. All right, so more time that we spend getting those built up, the greater success your child is going to have. So, and by the way, did you know that in martial arts, because of its structure and focus building, we actually help kids do better in school? True story. If you're interested, give us a call today. Find out how our martial arts program can help your child reach their potential. All right. Again, this is Master Heidi. I look forward to talking to you guys again next week. Have a great week.